Breathing in, I am aware of my in-breath. Breathing out, I am aware of my out-breath. Aware of my in-breath, aware of my out-breath. Breathing in, I am fully present in the present moment. Breathing out, I know this is a happy moment. Present moment, happy moment. Good evening, dear respected Thầy, dear brothers, dear sisters, and dear friends. Today is May 18th in the year 2019, and we are in the White Elephant Meditation Hall in Thai Bangladesh International Practice Center. Do you know the hall? The name of this hall is White Elephant? No, you did not know, now you know. And I hope that you will have time to research on why it's named White Elephant. When the Queen Mahamaya was pregnant with the Prince Siddhartha, she had a dream one night that a white elephant entered into her stomach, and that's a good sign. It's an auspicious sign that an extraordinary person will be born into this world. So I'm happy that this hall is named White Elephant, because right in this hall many hearts have healed, many tears have shed, many smiles have shone, right? My name is Sister BOI. In English it means Sister Trooper, not trooper. Can you hear me okay in the back? Exactly 1 year ago, I gave my first Dharma talk in Thailand in the Wake Up Retreat with the theme 4 nutriments. At that time, I was having a heart attack because I had to give a Dharma talk on a topic that I only had 1 day to prepare. Yeah? How many of you were here last year? Can you raise your hand? Oh, only some, huh? So maybe tonight I will give the same Dharma talk. Right? So for those of you who listened to my Dharma talk last year, please have patience on me. Huh? How many of you are here for the first time? Raise your hand. Okay. How many of you here are listening to my sharing for the first time? Raise your hand. Okay, good. So I just give the old Dharma talk. makes my life more easy, right? Because I will share basically almost the same story. Tonight I will share with you about my drama and how I am able to find the Dharma in the drama. How many of you have experienced finding Dharma in the drama? Raise your hand. Oh, only some, huh? Okay. Do you have a lot of drama in your life? Are you seeking for the Dharma? Because, and that's your karma. That's why you are here. We are here because we have so much drama in our life. We are looking for the Dharma. So we are creating good karma. Right? So tap hand on your shoulder for job well done. It takes a lot of courage to seek the Dharma. And I often share with the young people that not everybody is as lucky as we are. So tonight I will share with you the drama I have experienced in my life. And to tell you the good news, there's always Dharma in whatever drama we have been through. Just like Tay say, no mirth, no notice. That's Tay's phrase, it's copyright. I don't want to use it. My phrase is, no Dharma, no drama, no Dharma. So when you think of Tay, no mirth, no notice. When you think of Sister BOI, no drama, no Dharma. But that doesn't mean we need to create more drama. I think we have enough drama in our life already. Right? We want to make our life to have more Dharma than the drama. So by now you have the word drama and Dharma stuck in your head. Right? I have been asked by the organizing team to share with you about the beginning new practice. And this practice requires time to reflect. So I like all of us to close our eyes. And I will ask you questions. Be mindful of your breathing. Fasten your seatbelt. I hope no one will faint. But it's a good timing to ask ourselves these questions. If you don't have an answer, it's okay. Just be aware of your whatever thoughts that come. The translation is not working. So let us wait until the translation works. Is it working now? Okay. So let us close our eyes. Come back to our breathing. And allow these questions to enter your heart. If a Buddha comes to you and asks you this question, who in your life do you wish to reconcile and love more? When did the difficulties occur? And when did you wish to reconcile? What is preventing you from doing so? Is it pride, anger, wounds from the past? If this relationship continues, where is it taking you? to heaven or to hell? Why can't we seem to let go of the difficulties? How can we add forgiveness and love in this relationship? Please continue to close your eyes. I will ask you some questions and just raise your hand if you are in these circumstances. If it's you who you wish to reconcile and love more, please raise your hand. Okay, please put your hands down. Is it your parents that you wish to reconcile and love more? Raise your hand. Thank you. Is it your partner that you wish to reconcile and love more? Raise your hand. Surprise! In a wake-up retreat and you don't have love problem. Thank you so much. Thank you for your honesty. So please open your eyes. It's good that we are able to recognize who we are having difficulties with. Many of you raise your hand when I ask a question. Who do you wish to reconcile and love more? And you wish to reconcile and love yourself more. And also many of you wish to reconcile and love your parents more. There were less than 20 hands wishing to love your partner more. Are you going in the right direction? How many of you are in a relationship right now? Please raise your hand. There's this monk, he said that when friends come to Plum Village practice, they like to be single. And I think that's why we have so many monastics in Plum Village. Because perhaps we already have enough problems in our life, we don't want any more problems. And is it man that is creating all these difficulties? Ladies? Or men? Both. Tonight I'd like to introduce to you a product. Okay? This product is called the 4 Ways to Communicate Lovingly. And whenever we go to a store and we buy a product, it always has a warning sign, right? A disclaimer, an attention that is in red. Well, this product also has the same thing. When you use this happy product, the 4 Ways to Communicate Lovingly, first of all, take your time. Don't rush. Second, this is not a magic formula. It does not work overnight. It takes time. Am I advertising interesting enough or am I scaring you? Yes. Third, accept the results, especially if they are bad. If they are not what you wish, accept the outcome, accept the result. Fourth, don't have expectation. And if you are able to remember these disclaimers, then these products will stay with you for a long time, 100% customer guaranteed. You can always return the product and I'll give you full refund. Whatever that refund is. From time to time, I ask myself, how is my love relationship with myself? Mối tình của mình với mình là như thế nào? Whenever we say chuyện tình mình, our love life, it's usually me and you, I and you, or we, but it's oftentimes the other person is outside of us. But of course, as a monastic, I cannot ask a monk, so how is our love life? Right? I cannot ask a layman that question. So I have to come back and ask myself, how is my love relationship with myself? Chuyện tình mình với mình là như thế nào? Because like over the last 2 days, we have heard so much that it is only when we are able to love ourselves that we are able to love other people. We all know this, but we are looking on the method of how to do it. How is your relationship with yourself when you are by yourself? When you are completely alone? Are you comfortable? Are you happy? Or do you feel lonely? You are alone, but you are lonely. There are people who are alone, but they are very connected. Which one are you in? How is my relationship with myself when I am with people whom I find difficult to love? Am I peaceful inside? Am I mindful of my in-breath and my out-breath? Am I telling myself, it's okay, don't worry so much? How is my relationship with myself when I am with people that I love? Is it expectation that come up? Is it the longing of wanting that person to love you more? Or is it, I have enough love and I'm happy with what I have come up? How is your love relationship with yourself? Ask yourself these questions. Am I content with the way that I am? Do the pimples on my face make my compassion lessen? Sometimes I look at myself in the mirror and I say, oh, Sister Boy, how come you have so many pimples nowadays? And then another voice say, but do these pimples make my compassion decrease? I will not let the pimples decrease my compassion for myself and others. And this is a statement I make when I communicate with myself. I'm not increasing my ego or my pride. But I want to let myself know that I am someone who is worthy of my own love. And this is the way I give myself flowers. This is the way I thank myself for being who I am. And This is a way for me to just be happy with what I have. What does it mean, beginner anew? Beginner anew means we give ourselves an opportunity to change, to begin anew, to see that I'm not always like this. That person is not always like that. It's to give us an opportunity to say that yes, change is possible. I sound like Barack Obama. Yes, we can change. I watched the 2016 election, so it's in me. 2008 and 2016, the two elections. But no, really. Begin anew. So the first step of begin anew to help us to communicate lovingly is to water the flower. Flower needs water to survive. It needs space, it needs air, it needs the earth. Many conditions come together for the flower to survive. This morning in the passage that we read about the Buddha, it mentioned that the Buddha is a flower in the garden of humanity. The Buddha is a flower in the garden of humanity, and so are we. And there are many flowers in the garden of humanity. No flowers is more beautiful than others. We grow up not being taught like that. We think that, oh, a lotus is more beautiful than a rose. But this is only a way of thinking. When was the last time you thanked yourself because you smiled this morning? When was the last time you thanked yourself for quitting smoking? When was the last time you thanked yourself to turn off the phone and not to be on social media at night? When was the last time you thanked yourself for looking at your parents mindfully with eyes of compassion? This beginning anew can only be healing when we practice with ourselves first. It's very easy to say thank you to a stranger, to someone that is outside of you. But it's not easy to say thank you to yourself, right? As young people, why should we only do the easy stuff? We should do the hard stuff. The hard stuff is to come back to ourselves and say thank you for changing the old habits and creating new habits. I thank myself for becoming a monastic. Thank yourself for the decisions that you made in your life, that you are so proud of yourself. Because once you have such a profound and loving relationship with yourself, I can assure you that the difficulties that you have with other people is very little. I see this in my brothers and my sisters whom I live with. I see this in myself. I see this in my teacher. I see this in children. So when we water the flowers, we share from our heart. It is not to show people that, yes, I practice saying thank you. No. We should flatter when we practice watering flowers. How does it feel when people compliment you? Oh, I just want to let you know you have a very kind heart. You're so loyal. I'm so lucky to have a faithful girlfriend. I'm so lucky to have a faithful boyfriend. Thank you for watering that seed of loyalty in me. So that's with ourselves. And now let's go with our parents. Growing up in an Asian family, we know that saying thank you is not often heard, right? We hear the yelling more, the criticizing more, the blaming more. But to hear our parents thank us, that's going to be a long time. But are we going to keep on expecting our parents to thank us if we don't thank our parents? Saying thank you here doesn't just mean verbally, but it has to show through your way of living, your gesture, your eyes. Every night before I go to sleep, I lay on my right hand side. I put my two hands like this on my forehead. And I thank my mom and my dad for the things that they have done for me. And I want to think of something very specific. One night I say, Mom, thank you for teaching me how to drive. And whenever I drive, I would think of my mom. Imagine someone from Quảng Trị, a very remote countryside of Vietnam, immigrated to the US, not speaking a word of English, but had to learn how to drive. And then she was a driving teacher for all her children at home. My dad had hot temper problem, so we didn't dare to learn with him. So I thank my mom for teaching me how to drive a car. I thank my dad for not once hitting my mom. I do this every night with different things. And I invite you to do the same. For 1 minute, put aside the things that your parents say or do that make you sad. In that 1 minute, thank your parents so that you can enter into your sleep peacefully. And this is one of the reasons why I fall asleep very quickly. Because I make sure before I go to sleep, my mind is at peace. Because our parents deserve to hear our gratitude. And if we make this as a habit, then it will become very natural when we see our parents and we say out or we write a letter. So if it's so difficult for you to share with your parents, write them a note, send them a text. I remember when my dad turned 73 last year, I sent him a note, I sent him a text through Viber. I I say thank you, Dad, for never abandoning us. I've never felt that you left home one night because out of your anger. I thank you for quitting smoking when you had to get your health check before we came to the United States. That is to show how much you love our family. Because if we go and get a health check, and if my dad has some illness, that means the whole family has to stay in Vietnam. So out of compassion and love, he quit smoking. I thank him. And his response was very simple. Oh, I just do the ordinary thing. Before, I thought these things was ordinary, but now I see that as extraordinary. And my heart is filled with gratitude to my dad. And suddenly, the freshness in me is more, the freshness in my dad can be felt and can be seen so clearly. Because in him, he receives enough water for his flower. What is preventing us from saying kind words to our parents? And today I sat with some young people, and one of them shared, it's the pride. Is it the pride that is preventing us from saying loving words to our parents? Because we feel that, they have hurt me so much. They are not worthy to hear my loving words. Or is it because of how they are going to respond to your kind words that do not inspire you to share lovingly to your parents? Is it because you are afraid your feelings are being hurt? Or is it you are afraid your parents' feelings are hurt? Which one is it? And we think we are compassionate. We want to hold our dad's hands, our mom's hands, but they push it aside. And then we say, I will never hold my dad's hands or my mom's hands ever again. But now let me ask you this. Let's say you are dating. And you want to hold a guy's hands. At first, he pushed it away. Or a girl's hand. But then you try to find different ways. You will say, okay, I will try again next week. And you reach out your hands, and this time, this person push it aside. But you don't give up. And then one day, that person agrees to hold your hand. Oh, you are so happy. Then why is it's so easy for us to give up on the love we have for our parents, what we give, and they don't receive at that moment? But when we are dating, we don't give up that easily. Anyone here have that? Nobody dares to raise your hand. So ask yourself, why is that? Next time when you see your parents, instead of, because we have this pattern of thinking so negatively about our parents, about the harsh words, a hot temper, next time, even when you just look at them, just say, thank you, Mom, for being here. Thank you for changing my diaper. Yeah. There are many things that we can do by ourselves. But one thing that we cannot do is change our own diaper. Thank your mom. See her from a distance. She's cooking. Thank her for cooking. Because right at that moment, is she saying anything? Right at that moment, is your dad doing anything that hurt you? Then why are you feeling hurt right at that moment? So I'm inviting you to always, always come back to the present moment, to touch the conditions of happiness that you have. And this is a way for us to express our gratitude. Our teachers say that as long as we still have gratitude in our hearts, we will be happy. And I think one of the reasons why people are not so happy nowadays is because they're not grateful. If it's too difficult to share, then at least think. Send a text. Before, I would be very afraid to show love to my dad because he tends to be quite cold. He's from the Central. And some men from Central Vietnam, they are very conservative. They can be quite cold. But over the years of practice, I consider myself as a stubborn daughter. Especially when showing love to my parents, I don't give up easily. If I'm a layperson, if I like a guy and a guy doesn't like me, I will give up. But it's different with my parents because I only have one mom and one dad. So be stubborn in loving your parents. And over time, my dad has softened. And of all the family members in my family that changed over time, my dad has changed a lot. And it's very healing for me. And you know, as a young Dharma teacher, sometimes I give Dharma talk. And my dad knows that I give Dharma talks. And he would ask me, so when is your Dharma talk going to be on YouTube? Just him asking me that question, he's showing me he's my number one fan. And I'm so happy with that, you know? It doesn't matter if it's going to be on YouTube. I don't care if it's going to be on YouTube. I don't care if it's going to be like 500 people watch or listen. But to hear that from my dad is something special. Just like if you're a singer and your mom comes to see you perform, and when she goes home and she turns on your CD and listens to your voice, how does that make you feel? Very happy, huh? And I know my dad listens to my Dharma talk, so I talk about him a lot. I will share about his bad habits. Especially when I share Vietnamese, because he doesn't understand English. So I say, okay, Dad, I just gave a Dharma talk. No, there's some truth in this, you know. And I also share his transformation. Sometimes I have to find skillful ways. So there isn't a day that passes by that I don't express my gratitude to my parents. I do it silently. Even though my mom passes away, but I still talk to her. I still express my gratitude to her. It's countless things she have done. And I also express my gratitude to my brothers and sisters. When I got off the van out of near the registration office, I saw Brother Hoan Hỷ speaking to the driver, and he was giving money to the driver. I observed, and I want myself to feel. As we know, Brother Hoan Hỷ is a transportation coordinator, and it's not an easy job. So I stood there, I watched him, and suddenly I had goosebumps on my whole body. Because I'm so grateful for the work that he's doing, for the community, for the friends that come here. So I train myself that when I look at something, I must feel something. And this feeling is a feeling of gratitude. When I see my brothers or my sister walk, do something, I say silently, thank you for being a monk. Thank you for being a nun. So my heart is always filled with gratitude. And if I can do it, Okay, try it again. If I can do it, exactly. If I can do it, you can do it. And I also say thank you to my ex-boyfriend. Why not, right? I also share with about my love story when I was 16. Do you want to hear? So when I was 16, I had a boyfriend. It was my first love and my only love until now. Sorry. And in that 1 year and 2 months relationship was very short. I learned a lot. After we broke up, I blamed him, I criticized him. I dislike him because one day I witnessed him walking upstairs with his new girlfriend in my high school, holding her hands and her books while I was walking downstairs up. Can you imagine how painful that was? It seems like you all have experience with this, huh? And sometimes I say I'm sorry to him. Why is it now, as a nun, I thank him? Because looking back at that relationship, he never forced me to do anything that I'm not ready. He never hit me. I thank him for that. Because I listen to so many stories from young people, from adults. they share, you know, that they're in an abusive relationship, or that their partner forces them to do things that they're not yet ready. And I look back at my relationship, it wasn't like that. So I thank him. So even if there is one person in your life that treats you badly, there's still one thing that you can be grateful for in that person. And this is how you can heal your own heart. Let us listen to one song of the band. The second step to communicate lovingly is to say, I am sorry. Don't say this to anyone if you are not able to say this to yourself. I think as a person, we have to be very honest with our mistakes. Saying sorry doesn't mean we are weak. Saying sorry doesn't mean that we are poor. I think for someone who is able to say I'm sorry, someone who is very rich, every time I have strong emotions inside, I come back to my breathing and I say, I'm sorry, Sister Boini. Because that is when I hurt my own heart. That is when I hurt my own mind. And I often say, I'm sorry to myself. I say, I'm sorry to myself when I walk so fast, when I don't need to walk fast. But that's not enough. Saying I'm sorry is not enough. I have to make effort to change. And there are times we say words like make other people suffer greatly. And it takes us a long time to say I'm sorry. And sometimes that's a good thing, you know? Because we want to make sure that our heart is at peace when we say I'm sorry. And that we really mean it when we say I'm sorry. We don't just say, oh, I'm sorry. No. Our words have to have weight and have to have meaning and power in it. We can't just continue to apologize if we make the same mistakes over and over and over again. I'm sorry is a powerful words. So let us put our hands on our heart and let us close our eyes. And if there's one thing that you would like to apologize yourself for the mistakes that you have made, what would it be? Please say it and mean it. I was traveling in Vietnam for 2.5 months for the Wake Up tour with 7 brothers and sisters. And before coming here, I was in Hanoi. And I had a beginning with my elder brother, spiritual brother. Because while we were in Da Nang, he said things that quite hurtful. And my response was not very nice. I kept silence when he said it. But after that, every time I see him from a distance, his words would come in my head. I would say, I expect you to be better. I thought you are different. I had these thoughts in my head. And I'm quite shameful for having this. And I apologize myself for doing that. And when we had the session of Begin Anew, I shared with him that. I'm sorry for showing you my unpleasant energy when I'm with you. My silence was heavy silence. We must be able to say I'm sorry as a way to forgive ourselves. Really. And what does it mean to forgive? Forgive means we just don't want to have that old saying keep playing in our head. Let go, let it go. For ourselves to feel lighter. And so when I say I'm sorry to him, I feel so much lighter now. And it's because he is someone who practices. And he is someone who acknowledges mistakes. And I want to be like him. I want to be like my spiritual brother, who has the capacity to acknowledge my own mistake. And if your parents are not like that, I'm sure you know someone like that in your life. Be like that person in this aspect. When was the last time you said I'm sorry to your parents? Because of your way of thinking about them. Because of the expectation you have of them. When was the last time you wish to sit down, even just a wish to sit down and apologize to your parents? See, only when you give rise to the thought of wanting to reconcile, that's the first step already. But don't just stop there. We like to hear other people saying, I'm sorry to us. It makes us feel good. It shows that I am important. It shows that I'm right and you are wrong. Right? But are we someone who has the courage to apologize when we make mistakes? apologize doesn't mean it doesn't mean that we have more low complex, inferiority complex. We apologize so that we give ourselves an opportunity to change, to be better. Inner shame is important, but it is not something that we are stuck there and we feel sad for the mistakes that we make day in and day out, months after months. No. Inner shame is a way for us to be humble. And that we wish to make a difference in our own life. So to be able to say, I'm sorry, is to strengthen that inner shame inside. Remorse, inner shame. We are needed for that. So don't be someone who just wants to hear other people apologizing to you. But be someone who has the courage to apologize. Because it makes your compassion grow. Apologize to your partner for the times you had suspicion. He or she doesn't call you, and then you make up this huge story, or perhaps he or she is seeing somebody right now. Be honest. Let that person see the beautiful side of you. And miracles happens when we apologize, especially if it's from the heart. And we also have the right to share our pain, to express our hurts. And this is the third step. And you know what is so funny? Is that when people practice begin anew, they jump right into this third step. They say, you did this to me, you hurt me. But that's not beginning anew. You water that person's flower at least 3 things, and you express only 1 hurt. Okay? 3-1 formula. Don't water 1 flower and express 3 hurts. Then I will not, when you return your product, I will not receive. Because as a human, we are so used to blaming and criticizing when someone says something that is hurtful to us. And we can talk for a long time. And it makes us feel so good. It's like a revenge session. It's not like that. Beginning anew is, first of all, not just to solve conflict, but it's also to strengthen the relationship and to make the communication stronger. Its purpose is not to solve problems only. And if we wait until we have problems and practice beginning anew, it will not be successful. Don't go to your mom and say, Mom, I want to do beginning anew with you, with a serious face. No. After dinner, after lunch, you can water her flowers. Thank her for the food that she made, apologize, And then if she says something just a few days ago that hurt you, if you feel the atmosphere is right, then you do the third part. Okay? Because we need to do it at the right time and right space. If your mom asks you, who taught you how to do beginner new? And you say, oh, it's just a boy meal. And she's gonna be like, I want to talk to her. I'm in big trouble. So this third step requires skills and art. We only express our hurts when we feel that there is not so much anger left inside. When inside we wish to understand more. The understanding side is stronger than the criticizing side and the blaming side. Then that's when we can express our hurt and our pain. If you want to express your hurt and your pain, and your heart is beating very fast, you didn't sleep well last night, you just had an argument with someone else, or you just read something very irritated online, then don't do the third step. I'm not asking you to remain silent. I'm asking you to find the right time and right space to do it. Sometimes in our society, silence is often praised, but that can be very detrimental. If we practice noble silence, I highly praise. But if we know that someone is hurting us a lot, and we remain silent for years after years, I don't encourage those kind of silence. And sometimes when someone says something that we find it hurtful, check to see if that's really that person's intention. Or is it because of this person's habit? Does she or he really mean it? Is it our analyzing mind that is making things worse than it is? Are we creating a story inside that has a very unhappy ending? When my brother said to me, you have to respect me because I'm your elder brother. Don't push it. You have to ask me first. At that moment, I remained silent. And I was very aware of what is going on in my heart and in my mind. My heart was beating very fast. I was speechless. Because these are the words that I would never expect coming from this brother. But in that session of Beginner New, I was able to share with him how hurt I was. And I sat there and listened to him because it was false accusation. And I shared with him that please don't ever say this to your younger brother and sister. Because Tay has taught us that. People respect us because of the compassion that we have, because of the morality that we have, because of how we live our life, not because how long we have been ordained as a monk or a nun. And for someone who does not expect other people to respect them, this person receives a lot of respect from others. Do you believe this? I also see this. And my brother was very open. He shared with me, the pressure that he has been having over the last few months. And unfortunately, I was the one who received all of it. But I'm happy it was me and not someone else. And I find that beginning this session very healing. And now every time I look at him, I don't think about his sentence anymore. Because he's not just only like that. He's much more than that. Many of us grew up with experiencing trauma in our life. Physical abuse, sexual abuse. Some people experience sexual harassment at the workplace. But you continue to be silent. Because perhaps you are afraid of losing your job. You are afraid of other people judging you. There are many reasons why you remain silent. But if that silence makes you stronger, then continue to be silence. But if that silence make you fall into depression, not letting you enjoy the present moment and enjoy life. Like we need to do something with that silence. We share our hurt in a way that person can feel a true intention. That we wish that person to understand, but please, don't continue this. If not, then we carry this hurt for the rest of our lives, and it affects our happiness greatly. If we are not able to share directly to that person, and find someone that we can trust to share. Because talking is therapeutic. But we share it with compassion, with peace, not with revenge. You see, so the mind is so important, the intention is so important, more important than anything. There were times when I shared with my dad how he responded to my love, hurt me. Because after my mom passed away, I want to give that love to my dad also. Because I know that he's going through some difficulties. I remember one time I wrote him a letter. It was on his 69th birthday. And I wrote down 69 qualities I see in him. I invited my sisters, my brothers-in-law, my nieces and my nephews to help me to write that letter. If you read in Latalamai, you will see that letter. 69 points. my niece said that, oh, even though grandma passed away, but you still wear the wedding ring. That was one point. I wrote, you never say no to me whenever I ask you to do something. My nephew wrote, thank you for giving me a piggy bank. I still have it in my room, even though there's no money in it. Many qualities, 69. When he received it, he said, this is not practical. Which is another way of saying this is trash. This is garbage. This was in 2014. The same year my mom passed away. Because there's one thing in there that I wrote that is not correctly, and he was mad. And he asked me, because I didn't just sign my names, I signed everybody's names. And he asked me, did these people read the letters? I said, no. And he said, then why did you send it to Latulangmai? You didn't ask for my permission. So he would come up with all these reasons, you know? I was so hurt. And I remember bringing that Latulangmai home, and I wanted to give it to my sister and my sister's friends. And this is what my dad said. Before you give this Latulangmai to other people, you have to tear the article. And I had to do that. And it was very painful to do. Oh, I wish you can listen to this part. Maybe I should share this part with the miss and have it on YouTube. I haven't had a chance to share with him my hurt about this incident. But I share with him about other incidents. But Dad, now that Mom passed away, please allow us to love you. Give us a chance to love you. And it's been 5 years since I have written a letter to my dad. But I call him more often. And our conversation lasts for 30 minutes to 1 hour. And you know what is the miracle? It is me who often say, okay, Dad, I need to go. It's not him who say that. And I see that he likes to talk to me. And this is the way my dad apologized. I had to say it that way. And this is also a chance for me to express my hate to my dad. Perhaps it's difficult for me to sit there and share with him, but I find different ways. And I heal. So miracles happen. There can be miracles. Okay, let's try it again. There can be miracles when you believe. The hope is frail, is hard to kill. It's true. The hope is frail, it's hard to kill. I believe in impermanence. That's why miracles happen. I believe in the change in my dad. That's why miracles happen. I believe in the change in myself. That's why miracles happen. And I believe in the present moment. That's why miracles happen. And you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. Exactly. So please, whatever hurt that you have inside, share it. Share it with love, with understanding, with open mind. Don't share it with expectation, with grudge, with anger. Talk to your depression. Tell your depression the pain and the hurt you're going through. Invite your mindfulness to talk to your depression. Say, depression, I'm here for you. Sincerely, mindfulness. Have you ever tried this? Goodness, it's 8:55. So we go to the last step, asking for help. I want to continue with the topic depression because it's everywhere now. People are more open to share about depression. But do we know the difference between depression and sadness? Or do we sometimes just misuse the word? Depression means we don't want to talk to anybody. We just want to be by ourselves, just be in the dark room. Negative thoughts keep on coming. And we want to die. And it happens like this every 3 months, every week. But sadness is different. Sadness is a feeling that come and go just like clouds in the sky. Oh, today my boss yelled at me. I'm so depressed. That's not depression. And here's one more thing. When we have physical illness, we say colon cancer. Do we say, oh, I am colon cancer? But when it comes to mental health, mental illness, we say, I am depressed. Change it. I have depression. It's important how we use our words. So to say I have depression is a sign of asking for help. Because we want to change, we're seeking for help, and we are not too shameful for the state that we are going in our life. But don't just stop there. If we look at ourselves in the mirror and the only thing we say is, I have depression, change it, please. I have mindfulness. I have compassion. I have my smile. And then I have depression. Okay, add it to the last. But don't put it on the very top. Ask for help. Please help me. And I'm so happy in my personal life. I have a niece who is going through depression. You know, some people say, I'm fighting with my depression. Please don't use the word fight. I'm carrying my depression. Don't say I'm battling with my depression. I'm taking care of my depression. So just by the different words that we use, change us. And my niece, she shares everything with me. Her depression, all these difficulties she's going through as a teenager. And I find it very comforting that she trusts me. And as brothers and sisters, you trust us. That's why in consultation, you open your heart and you share. See, you're asking for help. So thank yourself for asking for help. And really make an effort to change. I asked my niece, so how was your first session with the therapist? She said it was okay, but I don't think I will see her again. And she said, Auntie, you are my therapist. And I think that's the greatest thing. To be there for our loved ones when they need us the most. That's the greatest gift. Whatever difficulties that we're having, ask for help. It doesn't mean you are weak. Just like Brother Liam shared this morning, we can deal with our difficulties by yourself, but at the same time, we also need community. And this is a way for us to love ourselves. Let other people come to you and seek help. But know your limit. If the work is too much, ask for other people to help. Let us listen to one song of the band. Dear friends, we have about 10 more minutes left, and I'm asking for help. It has been quite difficult to find people who are willing to come sit here to do Begin Anew. And if you are here and your partner is here, and you wish to express your gratitude and apologize to that person, and if you feel comfortable enough, and you see this is as your family, I would like to invite you. Okay. Any couples? If not, I'd like to invite an individual who would like to do Begin Anew with yourself. If you're comfortable, if you feel you're ready, please come. So we have a volunteer. Thank you, friend, for volunteering yourself to come here. As we can see that in front of you is an empty chair. This empty chair is empty of a person sitting. It is full of the cosmos. You consider this chair as the other side of you, as someone you love dearly, which is yourself. What would you like to thank yourself?
Okay, I will share my story. Dear brother, sister, and friends, I'm from Vietnam, and this is the first time I talk between 300 of people like this, and it makes me feel I'm in a TED talk. But because I'm not a native speaker in English, so please forgive me for my mistake. And I would like to share my story today about my love and my fear, my connection with my families, and my depression.
So let's see. Because we have to make this short. TED Talk only has 18 minutes. In this talk, we have 7 minutes.
Yes, when Mr. Parkwood asked me, I have to prepare about 5 papers, but I will try to make it short. It happened when my mother sees a single mom. My father, he says he has a mistress, and then he passed away. My mom became a single mom when I was 1 year old. And because of the pressure in life, just like she had to become a mom and a dad, and even for the economy stressful, and unlucky that I look like my father. When she look at me, she feel that she facing with her husband, and she hates me a lot. She used to punch me or slap on me or blame me whenever I do the different, and I didn't follow her. And it happened until my childhood. When I had a boyfriend when I was 23 years old, and I said to him that I will accept everything, every disadvantages of you, but never betray me, because I have a pain. I don't know. I have a pain with my families, and the bad seed into my heart. But whenever people are not allowed to do something, they will try to do it.
Okay. Is my microphone on? Because to make this go well, I will ask you some questions and just answer my questions. Because if we listen to your life story, we need more time than this. So if there are 3 things that you would like to express your gratitude to yourself, what would you say?
I would like to forgive myself.
You thank yourself
Yeah.
for forgiving yourself.
I thank myself, and the most important thing is I will love myself.
What qualities that your mom has that you see you also have, that you are very grateful to her?
The quality I think is loyalty, and just because the loyalty that is killed her when her husband betrayed her.
And she also has the courage, the strength to continue on to raise you, right?
Yes.
Do you also have the same courage that your mom has?
Yes, I think so, because when I was in the depression, I start to ask for help from friends. Because for another people, when they have a depression, they will not try to ask for help from the other people, because I think that they don't have the motivation inside, and they don't, because I was live in an unhappy family, so I don't want to be like my mother, and so that is the motivate for me to overcome my depression.
Flowers for her, please. Yes. Okay. What are some mistakes that you made that you want to apologize to yourself?
I think that I will apologize for myself, but if I do it, I have a chance to do it again, I will do it again.
Can you
I
share?
never, yes, I will never change the past because it makes me today.
Can you share with us more specifically, concretely? What did you do that you want to say I'm sorry to yourself?
I'm sorry to myself because I was very young at that age and I didn't realize that I have a bad seed from my family, from my childhood. And I think maybe I have a mistake. I tied my ex-boyfriend because I don't want to lose him, and that's why I lose him away.
Anything else that you would like to apologize? What is one thing that you would like to say to your dad? Imagine that your dad is sitting there. Express your gratitude. What would you say to him?
I say to him that when I come to the Plum village, when I heard the touching the earth, I know that he's only a human, and I overrated for him. Maybe he has some mistake, but just because it's my judgment.
What about your mom? Would you like to express your gratitude to your mom? To say something to her?
I would say that I used to hate her, and I used to don't want to talk with her, or even I come to Ho Chi Minh City for my university degree, but I never called her or text her, only her text me. And I know that she said she has the suffering during her lifetime, and I feel that I over expected in her. And when I come to the Vietnam village, that I feel that I will text her to say thank you for raising me, to give me today.
Thank you. Do you have a friend here coming to the retreat with you?
No, I come here alone.
You are here alone. We have a practice called hugging meditation. Is there someone who would like to offer her a hug? Please come. Please stand up. Come. Just come. No. Don't be too eager. I will share with you the instruction first. Okay? So perhaps two of you can stand up. Yeah? Put your microphone and your notebook down. Okay. So please come stand up here first. As we know, meditation is something that's very beautiful, and we do things gently and lightly. And we take our time, right? And usually when we hug somebody, we hug very quickly, tap on the back, and we let go. That's hugging. But now we're going to do hugging meditation. So it's different. Before we hug someone, we look at that person in the eyes. No, not yet. And then we acknowledge the presence of that person. And we bow down. Okay? Please come a bit closer. And we breathe in and breathe out 3 times before we let that person go. And when we hug, we don't need to hug so tight. We just embrace that person lightly, and we don't need to tap. And when we breathe in and breathe out. So please bow down. Now you can hug. Please hug. Close your eyes. Breathing in. I am here for you. Breathing out. Breathing in. I know you are here for me. Breathing out. I'm very happy. Breathing in. This is a happy moment. And breathing out. Thank you. Maybe tomorrow some of you can wear free hugs. And people can come to you and you offer them hugs. So you can go back to your seat. Thank you so much, dear brothers, dear sisters, and dear friends, for your listening. When you go home, please practice beginning new with yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and talk to yourself. It's not crazy. I do that. Write journal. Write some loving words to yourself every day. And then when you do with other people, it's very easy. Thank you for your listening, and let us listen to 3 sounds of the bell.